We can now wrap up this session with some key points, important reminders, and resources and support information. All right, so this is our suggested Fall 1 milestone slide for this year. And by Census Day, which is again October 1st, the expectation is that you have completed your student profile data population in your local student information system. Try to complete that as early as you can. After that, you can start submitting your files to CALPADS. Your file submission and input validation should be completed by November 7th. And then after that, you want to work on your certification data discrepancy errors, as well as your certification errors, and also your anomalies, right? So you want to ensure that you have completed all of this by end of November. And actually, there is a November 21 recommended date for zero errors that we talked about, right? So just kind of keep that in mind, that the earlier you clean up your errors, the better you're off, because you also have, again, those holidays at the end of November. And so the whole idea behind it is that you have enough ample time to send the reports to local data stewards and site leaders and administrators for them to review and approve those reports. Sometimes they may come back and give you feedback where you have to go make additional updates to your data. And so you need that extra time, right? By December 12th, you want to have all of your reports reviewed, and hopefully they're all accurate and complete, and you do the LEA approval. So self-approval is optional for the initial deadline. So after that, we have the amendment window. That's the time you would fine-tune your data if there's a need for it. And the self-approval is needed by that final deadline of January 23rd. All right, so some key points to remember and take away. You want to review your Fall 1 changes. Again, ensure that you share these with other folks in your LEA, such as your special education coordinators and other folks. This proportionality data will be pulled from the initial certification deadline rather than the close of the amendment window for Fall 1. Again, share the special ed related changes with your SPED coordinator as early as possible and coordinate with them. And you can now, as you all know, utilize the data discrepancy module to resolve data discrepancy errors earlier on without having to wait for a new snapshot to refresh. Start that communication with your SED, SELPA, and other folks earlier on. Use the checklist to manage the submission sort of as a project. And Fall 1 certification is a two-step approval process involving your CELPAs, so make sure that you coordinate with your CELPAs. It's really important that if anytime you decertify or you need to make a change after the CELPAs have approved, that you communicate with them any actions you take so they know that they have to reapprove their reports. And this is an old slide talking about LEA administrator responsibilities. So one of your responsibilities is to manage the accounts in CalPass for yourself and other folks and provide local support to your users, answer their questions, and provide training, and also act as a liaison between them and the CalPass support help desk and request support on their behalf. So our support slide provides information on how to get support for the Fall 1 submission. The best and most efficient way to get help is through the web form that we have. It goes into our ticketing system, gets assigned to an agent, and we contact you either through the ticketing system, or at times we may call you if there's a request for that or a need for that. You may also email calpass-support@cde.ca.gov with your questions. That also goes into our ticketing system. A ticket gets generated and gets assigned to an agent. And again, we get in touch with you after that. There is an old phone number that is listed here. No one picks up this phone, but it goes to a voicemail, and the content of that voicemail gets transcribed into a ticket, and then it goes through a longer process. So that's why we strongly recommend that you go through the web form and email if you need to. There is the CalPass listserv, and all the communication from the CalPass team to the field goes through this listserv. So as advanced users, you most likely are all subscribed to this listserv, but if you have new users, you would want them to subscribe to this listserv as well. so they don't miss any important communication from us to the field. All right, so we have reached the end of this recording. I do want to thank you for taking the time to attend this session and review the recordings.